Hello my dear students, I hope you all are fit and fine. So in this video we will start with a new chapter, that is Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia is composed of all the animals, and the animal kingdom, it is largest kingdom, and the animals, they are multicellular, right? So let us study their features, general characters. Number one is multicellular, means their body is made up of number of cells. Then they are non-green. Second point is heterotrophic, means their nutrition is heterotrophic, and they are heterotrophs, means they depend on other organisms for their food and they cannot synthesize their own food by themselves. Then the third point is no cell wall, and we know cell wall is a property of plants, but in animals there is absence of cell wall. Then these animals, they can move and they show limited growth. So these are some of the general characters of all the animals in Kingdom Animalia. Then there is a classification of Kingdom Animalia. This classification is based on the presence and absence of vertebral column. So invertebrates are those in which there is absence of vertebral column, and vertebrates are those in which there is presence of vertebral column. Then let us study about invertebrates. The animals under invertebrates, they are divided into different phylum. So let us study the names of these phylum first. First phylum is Porifera, and the animals, they bear pores on their body. Then second one is Coelenterata, or it is also known as Cnidaria. Third phylum is Platyhelminths, and also known as flatworms. Fourth phylum is Nemathyhelminths. They are also known as roundworms. Then the another phylum is Annelida. They are also known as segmented worms. Then Arthropoda, these are animals which have jointed limbs. Then Mollusca, these are animals which have shell. Then is phylum Echinodermata, and it includes all the animals which have spiny skin. Then the vertebrates, it is divided into number of different classes. So let us study them. Number first is Pisces, and in this the animals are aquatic. Then number second is Amphibia. These animals can live in water as well as on land. Then there is Aves. These are flying animals and their body is covered with feathers. Then there is mammals. Mammals, they have hairs on their body, and mammary gland is present in females to feed their young ones. Let us study first phylum in detail with their general characteristics. So let us study first phylum, that is Porifera, and these animals, they have holes on their body. So the first point is pores are all over their body, means their body is covered with holes. On their body there is presence of holes. A large pore or opening is present on the body to expel the incoming water. The water which will enter through the pores will have to move out, will have to be expelled out, and for that there is a large pore at the top of the body. Then these animals are mainly found in sea, however few are also found in fresh water. So the common example is Euspongia. And the phylum Porifera, the animals in this, they are also known as sponges. Let us study now phylum Coelenterata or Cnidaria. So their features are, they are aquatic animals and mostly found in sea. They are mostly marine animals. They are either free floating or they are attached to the sea bottom. Their body is hollow sac with only one opening, that is the mouth. And their mouth is surrounded by finger-like processes that is known as tentacles, which is used for catching the food. Some common examples are sea anemones. These animals basically they live in colonies such as corals as well as solitary such as sea anemone. Some other examples are jellyfish or hydra. Then let us study another third phylum, that is platyhelminths. They are commonly known as flatworms. Their body is soft and they have flat body. In this, no body cavity is present and their body is divided into segments, and they are mostly parasites, means they feed or they live inside or on the surface of the living host. These animals they also have bilateral symmetry, means the body can be divided into two equal halves. Some examples are liver fluke and tapeworm. Now let us study another phylum, that is Nemathyhelminths, or they are also known as roundworms. So the nematodes, they have a cylindrical body and they are unsegmented, means they are not divided into segments, and some members are just like a thread. They are also parasites such as roundworm and threadworms. These are some examples of nematoda or animals under phylum Nemathyhelminths. Now let us study another phylum, that is Annelida. These are segmented worms, means their body is divided into segments and they have soft body. They are also having bilateral symmetry, means their body can be divided into two halves. Well developed alimentary canal is present in them, and most important feature is their organ of excretion is known as nephridia, and they move by special structures known as parapodia or setae. So these are two important features under phylum Annelida, that is organ of excretion which is known as nephridia, and they move by special structures that is known as parapodia or setae. So these are some phylums and their common properties. So that's all for today. In the next video we will study the remaining phylums in detail. Take care.